Evening all, welcome back to Super B or maybe Super A team's version of GT
Super B
Spree
team.
Team. We're back. It's Race on Oz season 12 this time, sponsored by Ignition Controls. Thank you them for jumping on board for this season. Of course, I'm joined as always by Daniel Hatfield. How are you?
Great, good to be here. Great for another season of racing. Ready to go. How you doing?
I'm great, and what a season we've got before us. The votes were counted, the races were run, and it's the Mazda TC that is the car of choice for Rouge this season. It's a bit of a sprightly car, this one. Very easy to race door to door, and a lot of fun to get behind the wheel of.
Yeah, the Mazda Rose to touring car. Miata for some of you, MX-5 for the other. We've got some handy stats on that car. We got just over 260 horsepower, so we've beefed it up a little bit, and we're just under 800 kilograms, so pretty handy power to weight there.
Yeah, it's a bucket of bolts to some, but it's really punchy. You can easily kick the rear out in this thing. And for this season, we're running sports softs and sports mediums for the races. It's the medium tire that's the mandatory one, which really spices up the strategy game, I think we could say.
Yes, I'm sure we'll see varying strategies from different drivers at the different tracks that we've got coming up this season. Round one, of course, will be Tsukuba, followed by the Nürburgring, the full Nürburgring both to some. Brands Hatch Indy for the sprint round. Then we go to Red Bull Ring and we run the short track there, followed by Sardinia B, which will be our endurance round. Alsace as the penultimate round, and then finally, after the Father's Day break, of course, we have Laguna Seca for the Mazda Retro round.
Excited for that too. It's a really good track list. Again, we're going back to a community vote for these ones. So these are tracks that everyone in the community wanted to see and we all wanted to run. Um, it's looking to be a great season. And even though the racing's going to be the highlight, I just think driving these cars around some of these tracks is going to be really fun. And I'm just looking forward to a great season.
Yes, well, it's not just the driving you're going to have to worry about. There's going to be a little bit of tyre management, a little bit of fuel management. We've got tyre wear at 8 times and fuel at times 4.
Absolutely. And those are tire wear and fuel rates that are given to us by Emo, I believe, this season, was it?
Yes, he's done a lot of hard work in his testing to get these cars to have to use the pits at some point. So it'll be interesting to see what that does to our fields.
Absolutely. Awesome work as always by Emo. Thanks for his efforts for this season. I think we both know firsthand that this will definitely open up the strategies a lot more, and there's no straightforward best strategy to get to the finish first. I'm not going to see anyone pull a Keaton, as you would say, um,
Well, except for Keaton.
except for Keaton, unless your name is Keaton. But I suppose we'll see. We'll jump forward here, and we'll see how everyone went in Div 1. Of course, we're following Div 1 around for the season. For the first round at Tsukuba, 44 laps for season 12.
Big thanks, Ignition Controls. www.ignitioncontrols.com.
Yes. Oh, so I'm just ready on the button. No talk.
And we're on the grid at Tsukuba. Keaton 231 takes pole, another pole, very good pole. Captain Risky gets second, Norm in third, Groover for fourth. Third row we got Apex with Brian, then Jono with Chopper, and they're off. Lights are gone green into turn one. Who gets to jump?
It's Keaton.
Yeah, I don't think Risky can stick the nose in here. Keaton's leaving a bit of room though.
Side by
side.
side here. Oh, beautiful racing.
Speaking of, we
Further
picked up a
back in the
stray.
pack.
Captain Risky has joined us in the commentary team. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to Aiden. Keaton keep staying in the lead there.
Look, very
Oh,
clean
that
into
again.
turn two.
Oh, no.
Contact. Oh no. He'll redress
Oh.
that surely. Oh, and Viper's it straight to the back of him. Oh no. Not
This
the way
isn't
you want
what
to
we
start
wanted
this
to
race.
see. They would have all wanted to get through cleanly. Now we've got an instant. Jono has rightly regressed that. Looked like he just got a little bit too into it then. Sent
Nice
Apex into the
address, though.
grass, and then yeah, Viper got cleaned up in that as well. As we rejoin the lead, Keaton now going to try and break that slipstream to Risky. They're all in a little train there, top 4.
Razor's in on the mediums. Viper and Motors in with him too.
So we're going to
Yes,
see
as
this. Of course, the
Kev
mediums
and
were our medium. Our mediums were our medium tyre, our mandatory tyre for the season. So we'll see these guys burning them after one lap, and they've thrown away their qualifying, but they'll see how this works for the rest of the stint on softs.
I guess the idea would be just to get out of that front traffic that
Absolutely.
can accumulate.
And it's definitely Razor who's benefited the most from that. Now he's got clear air ahead, but it's Hat, Viper, and Motors, I think, in behind who have really bunched up.
Yeah, and then Kev just on the back of that train. So
Really angry
that's
battle
one of the
pack.
strategies, is to just do the one lap on the mediums, and I don't think the fuel can last the whole distance, so there'd be one more stop for another set of softs at some point. The other strategy, of course, being the one stop, running sort of a longer distance on the softs and then finishing the race on the mediums. It'd be interesting to see if anyone tries that today.
It'd be ballsy to pull it off. It's Keaton who's still trying to extend his gap, but this slipstream model is meaning that Captain Risky's sticking right to his rear bumper at the moment. Keaton running a 1.4, which is really good race pace.
Yeah, being such a small track, we should see those lap times quite close together. It's a lot different to other tracks where there's a bit more of a spread.
That front pack now, the top 5 have about 1 second gap back to Brian now, so dropping back there, pulling away from Brian.
Brian, historically, he'd be my bet for the one stop. He'd be the guy normally to give that a try. As we see Hatfield down the inside of Viper.
Well, that's Viper defending from Hatfield.
Oh, right, yeah.
We'll look at
Inviting
Viper
Motors.
obviously getting the short end of the stick at the start of this race, with Jono redressing that incident on the racing line, but well,
What can you do by this point?
yeah.
Just put your head down.
exactly.
Motors having a look at him now down the inside.
Oh, Motors with the
Viper's
dive.
gone!
Wow, Viper's gone. Oh no.
Into the sand.
Oh no. Kev's redressing that
Oh,
one.
looks like that was a Kev hit there.
Yeah.
Really
Things go from
unfortunate.
horrible to even more horrible.
It's just not his day.
Good of
While we're
Kev to
looking
address it again.
Yeah.
While we're looking at that beached car, we're seeing a new type of livery this season. The blue and red there.
Viper Z, would you like to explain this one?
Yeah, I'll jump on board. So the liveries you might see here, as I'll pick up as the subtle cue, is that Brian and Viper Z, myself, are running SR liveries for the season, and that would be due to the introduction of Satellite Racing, who have kindly jumped on board with the Ruse proceedings, I guess you could say.
Yes, RaceOnOz, we do welcome Satellite Racing as one of the teams this season. A bit different to the draft we normally run with the other teams. They have their own drivers that have come on board, so they have a bit of a smaller team. But as we only count the top 5 from each team for each round, they're still within a shot of the title.
It's an outside shot for sure, but I think at this point Satellite are really just looking to make themselves a name in the community, and as a team that's already accomplished in the iRacing world, I think they're just trying to make a bit of a name for themselves in GT Sport. We've seen their accomplishments in FIA racing already, so Ruse is just hopefully another step to see them excel.
Yes, well said. This season is I would say more of a look in just to get the feet settled, and then if they're really going to challenge for the title, we'll probably see that next season.
Absolutely, and
Agreed.
a team we haven't seen join into Ruse yet is McLaren. There's one of them is still leading the race, the McLaren MX-5.
Yes,
I'm
Keaton
pretty sure
does
we've seen
love-
one for the last 2 seasons, actually, Viper. Keaton does like to run a good McLaren livery, but yeah, he's not impartial.
Well,
It's funny,
look,
you
when
just-
someone such as yourself, Aiden, is making liveries like that for him, he'd be a fool not to run them.
Exactly.
Get a room, you two. Wow.
Yeah. As the front 2 have pulled away a 1.5 second gap back to norm, it seems like a breakaway there. Fuel
Yeah,
saving
top two.
So
No, that's
just
another
the pace.
interesting quality in the strategy, is how far do you push that fuel? It's time spent stationary in the pits. It's time lost out on the circuit. If you can
track
save fuel and
position
keep
is
those
everything
behind
here.
you. Nice livery there from Norm.
It's another one from
Showing his
myself,
true
actually.
heritage there.
Another Viper's Head creation, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I think most deliveries in this field come from the guys in the commentary box.
Actually, if we go
Gotta-
through the field and have a look at that, that'd be top two
Well,
are
you've got-
both Captain
you've gotta-
Riskies.
You've got to do
Yeah.
something when you're not talking.
Absolutely. So Viper's Head Special in third, followed by... Actually, there's a decent gap between third and ninth.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, considering Jono had to redress that earlier incident,
Yes.
Yes.
you'd expect there to be a little bit of a gap there. Probably
Absolutely.
not that much, considering the person he was redressing has a gap to him.
Yeah, he's pulled away a little bit as Apex. He's chomped on the lollies and he's just running. That's alright. Back to 10th,
Well
it's
said.
Razor with another Viper's Head Special. And this one's got a little bit of a gift on the bonnet. If you can just get a decent shot.
Bit of big chungus action, I
It's
find.
Chungus.
Okay,
Razor
you guys have to
is-
explain that to me. What is Big Chungus?
This would be the, it's Bugs Bunny, isn't it? I believe it's Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny.
it's Bugs Bunny in the 50s.
Yep. And he's pretty
Too
much
many
just
carrots.
he's been grabbed by his love handles and he's been stretched to his absolute maximum. There's a bit of slide going on in the background there. But yeah,
The actual animation
Oh,
of
Motors
Big
is all
Chungus
over
is
Hatfield
quite
there.
humorous, I have to say.
Oh, he's going.
Oh,
he's not gonna get
Hatfield
around
going for
in
the... Is he going to hold it? Good racing again. This car does produce some good racing, gotta say.
Oh,
Oh, the
the
motor's
lights
got
up
the
there.
lights. Oh no, hang on.
Motor's not
Hatfield,
happy here.
what have you been doing, Hatfield?
Well, either he's not happy with being shown some precision defensive driving, or he's trying to do a little bit of a psych out.
Oh,
Did
I
a
think it's
little bit of a tap
working.
wide.
Look out.
He's
Oh,
pushed
yep.
him real wide
Oh.
there.
Oh, he's still
Hatfield
flashing the
using-
lights.
Hatfield using all of the road.
Oh, you saw the tap at the corner there. Can't help but push, but he's going to have another look.
No.
Hatfield not making it easy for him.
Ow.
Also not easy to speak in the third person, but we'll keep going.
This is great viewing. Hatfield goes defensive again.
Motors trying to look for the run to get onto the Dunlop Bridge. Not exactly the easiest spot to overtake on this track, but there isn't really one in general.
Look at that gap, he
No.
cannot get any closer there.
No.
Lost a bit out of the bridge. I think for Motors at this point, just got to be looking at the guy ahead, where are his lines taking him, and where can you get the pass done.
Really
Ideally, you want to be right on his bumper out of the last corner to make that dive bomb into turn one.
Well, throwing it late hasn't worked for him
Oh,
so
as he
far.
throws it late again, he was right up to the bumper of Hat, but it might have just worked for him. He's got a run here.
Oh, look at him go. Hatfield using not as much of the road this time, but it's worked.
Motors just
Wow.
it's almost like
The
he gives
Hatfield-
up on the inside.
He's getting
Yeah.
that overlap, but it ruins his run out of the corner.
The Hatfield school of defensive driving really showing its form here.
Yep, you can buy entries into that.
Can you? Jeez, might have to have a look.
Oh, you don't need it, you're up in second.
That's a fair point.
We've just seen a position
Speaking
swap
of the
between
front,
Jono and Razor there, actually.
Norm's starting to close that gap back at the front. Back to 1.1 seconds. He'll be in tow soon, I reckon.
Well, that's good work there. Either the top two guys are fuel saving.
Norm's
Or he's
burned a
just
bit of
found-
fuel.
He's
Yeah,
pushing
Spurred
a
a
little bit
fair bit
harder.
more, yep.
bit harder. Yep.
Very lucky today that we've got sunshine, no rain, no roofs on these cars. Wouldn't want to get wet.
No, no.
Also, the fact that we're running the sports tyre means that if we were to get wet, it might be extremely slippery.
Oh, there's a tap from Mighty Murph there into Apex, and he's redressed that one. Good to see.
Close racing again
Apex
with
be
Apex.
feeling it now.
Yeah.
Got a creaky door in your house there, Aiden.
Yeah, yeah. Got to get that old.
Of course, Mighty Murph is one of our Div 1 inclusions for this season. He was the Div 2
no,
champion,
promoted.
I believe.
He's doing alright running there in 8th. But of course, it's hard to tell exactly where he will be in the running of things, considering he was not one of the medium starters.
No, actually, other than, I think, Jono, he may be the last of the soft runners at the moment. Yep, only Jono behind him on the softs.
Yeah, and he hasn't pitted yet. So it's going to take a miracle for Jono to save this race.
I think it's a bit gone. I mean, he's only spent 2 or 3 laps out here, and he's just not really looking at home in this car. I think it's easy to say.
Yeah,
This is all after he did win the 2 hours of Tsukuba in this car. Just it was on racing hards, so.
I think it's important to remember too. That race was. I think you can take it with a grain of salt. It was high slipstream. It was very easy to catch people, and the racing standards were interesting.
It was very easy to punt people as well. I think.
Yes.
The tone of the night, but what can you do?
Absolutely, you could not punt people, which is what Keaton often does, punting people. Of course, Keaton, the dirtiest driver in the world, as we've discovered as of late.
Yes.
Why do you think he's first?
Well, yep. No one's wanted to get ahead of him. They just know what's going to happen. You pass Keaton, you get punted.
Yeah, that was what was going through my head as I was following him here.
Yeah, I think disclaimer, Keaton is clean, but
no,
I don't think that's true.
Maybe not a dirty driver, maybe dirty in other ways.
I've had some very dirty incidents with Keaton.
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never met Keaton McDonald personally. On the racetrack, get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah, that's right. Apologies, viewers. Motor's still all over the back of Hatfield, hasn't found a way through yet. Biding his time, or just a brilliant defensive effort?
I think
I
need to buy a ticket to this Hatfield School of Defending personally.
There's a best sector there as well.
I'll tell you what I won't be buying. That's a ticket to the Motor School of Overtaking.
He does love a good dive bomb.
That's
true.
It's about 50-50 on whether he pulls it off or not.
And he openly admits it too. That's the best bit.
He does.
Well, look, if you're gonna do it, you got to own it.
Exactly.
Oh, he's looking every which way to try and get around Hatfield here, but he's just not making it work. He's got overlap here. Down the inside,
Will he make it stick this time?
Motors chucks it. He's held the apex.
He's done it.
Hatfield's trying to hold the...
No, I think
lovely.
he's cleared him. That's a good
well
pass.
done.
Take that back. Might need to book my ticket now.
You might need to cancel it. Oh, he did well. He was stuck behind there for quite a number of laps.
Yep.
But
bided his time.
focused,
Good to see.
that's right. Yeah, and then made the pass stick where it mattered. Fast forward to Brian here, 6th position, fallen a bit off the top 5.
Massive fuel save from him though. That's amazing.
Oh wow, look at the gap just between Chopper.
Ahead, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, to be fair, Chopper is burning a lot compared to the guys in front of him.
I think if we compare that to
cereal with petrol in it, so
yeah, Chopper and Groover both, they're really pushing this car to keep up with the pack in front.
Interesting livery there from Chopper.
It's a bit bare, isn't it?
Very white, and
I would say clean.
You could say clean. That would work as well.
I think
just
now...
look in the mirror and smile. You call that a white smile? It's clean.
I think now may be a good time to bring up the introduction of livery regs actually for this season of Roost. Abe, would you like to take the helm with this one?
So basically, if you look at, say, Keaton's car, for example, if you look on the side skirts of it, you will see some spec decals that you will find on a selection of the other cars in the field. Hopefully all of them. Obviously not Chopper Dogs. As it's
well, they could be white.
Oh,
they're just hidden.
They're not. But
so what we got there? We've got
Bridgestone, we've got Brembo, we've got NGK. It's basically the stuff that is on the stock livery of the car, just to try give the field a bit more unity when you look at the liveries.
More of a uniform look.
Yes. It should look better on the streams, as I'm sure you've all noticed.
Oh, I've definitely noticed. And then we've got those Potenza stickers on the front and rear.
Yeah, and
panels,
and the number boards are actually another good thing. They've got the Ignition logo, which is the season sponsor this season.
Yes, as we alluded to earlier. Yes, that's right. Season 12, sponsored by Ignition Controls. So big thanks to them.
Yep,
I
and
think
we've
we have a button box
the logo on the back as well.
The prize, the button box.
Yes.
So I'm yet to confirm whether they'll work on the PS5, but hoping they do. We know they work on the PC, and they get used in some other games. GT Sport not at the moment. Can't see them putting in support for that so late, but
no.
hopefully GT7 get full use out of it.
Can't wait.
Good luck to whoever wins that.
also got the gold member prize draw.
Yes.
That's
yes.
coming up from the gamesmen, so big thanks to them. Not sure what the prize is at the moment, but granted it'll be something good.
We'll just have a quick look.
Very excited. Can't help but notice that Motors has really pulled up to the back of Jono here.
Yeah, well, he's definitely got pace. Hatfield's fallen off him. Not sure if Jono being held up by Razor now or just trying to save fuel.
I don't think it's possible to be held up with a car with Chungus on it. Any car with Chungus on it is going to be your leader. I'm actually surprised there are 8 cars ahead of him because they should all be trembling at the
I don't think they've seen it, so...
Ah, okay, it's just
they
that far
probably
back.
think they've got to drive around and catch up to them.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, that's fair enough. So, actually,
I
so
think
what we've just discovered is that Razor 4797 is actually our leader, and Jono's in second.
Yes, that's
So
actually
the effective
factually
leader is
incorrect,
Razor.
by the way. Razor is
It is
9.
definitely not. He's in first place if you squint really hard.
Okay, so there's a mutiny in the commentary box, but we'll deal with that later.
Yeah, okay.
It's come through to start lap 17.
All hail Chungus.
PB there for
look
Jono.
Look further up the field. We've got the top 5 still together in the train. Oh, they make that the top 4. I don't know. Oh, Chopper Dog. Has Chopper Dog pitted?
I think he's made a mistake somewhere.
He might have. He definitely hasn't pitted.
I didn't
But
see
he's
anything
fallen
on the
back to
radar.
7th.
I think
No.
I was too distracted by how clean the livery was. What
Actually,
was he before?
if you have a look at lap
was fifth.
15, lap 15 he's run a
There you go.
107,
He's
so...
lost 5 seconds
Ah,
somewhere.
there we go. He might have had a little bit of an excursion, I'd say.
Almost had one there, the tail sticking out.
It's unfortunate for him. It's really heating up for 10th here. Jono's being swallowed up by Motors.
Wow.
We'll get a good run out of there. Oh, the lights
Oh,
are
the
on
flashing
too.
light. Jeez,
Something
John.
might have happened.
Not very good for aerodynamics there, Jonathan.
It's true, you do, with the benefit of flashing the lights to try and upset the driver ahead, you do lose that downforce.
Can be an issue. Jono maybe he's just going to have a look at retaliation to Motors here.
No, Motor's going defensive.
Can he hold it around the outside?
Jono.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Very close there.
Really, to do that, you need to have a little bit of a lead going into that funnel turn to be able to hold it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just with the way it's
Ooh,
basically
Motors.
a U-turn.
That was a
Oh,
chuck and a
Motors
half.
off on
Wow.
Razor. Wow. He's
And
known
this is what we
for
were
it.
saying before, 50-50 chance for those dive bombs you pulled off, as Jono now is going to get the place back. So all the hard work is undone.
And Chungus retains 9th place. It's good to see.
Frustration for Motors. I mean, all that. He's chucked it
he's
again.
having
Look at
another
this.
Wow, wow.
Oh, more contact.
Hatfield's just sitting there
he's-
licking his lips.
Oh,
and
he's
Jono's
really
in the
sent
grass.
Jono off there.
Oh,
Is
good
he
on
going to
him, though,
redress? He's redressing.
it,
Good to
but
see. At least he knows his mistake.
Really, maybe you shouldn't be making those moves.
I don't know.
No.
If I'm honest, I do feel like Jono really should have backed out of that one early. I mean,
And he
Jono,
flashes the lights.
look, it's very Jono to cause those incidents, and I think he's going to have to be lucky to avoid penalty here.
Yeah, I think the
they all
penalty
run
will be coming his way.
Absolutely.
Of course, redress incident Motors cannot get the penalty, but Jonathan is up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily true. I'm sure if you did it enough, you
No.
get enough warnings that would accumulate into a penalty.
Good
But
chance,
that's for
actually.
the stewards to decide.
Good chance.
Keaton's
But it is
still in the
Jono's
lead.
fault.
This top four is really closed up now.
Yeah, so I think the Norman Groover have both used a bit of fuel. Groover used a lot of fuel actually.
Just
But
trying to stay on the back of the lead group. Oh,
Yes.
risky.
and
Norm
we
jumping in
go.
the pits. First from the lead group to do so.
I think they are trying the undercut here.
Well, yeah,
Try
lap
to-
19.
Put a bit of fuel in, try to get in front of Keaton. Just run fast lap after fast lap, but we'll see how that works for him.
Could they be putting the mediums on?
I don't think so.
So
A few
the
more
problem
jumped in
with the
now.
mediums, yeah, a few more jump in. Problem with the
Razor and
mediums, you go to them in the middle of the track, the middle of the race, sorry, and you suddenly lose all that track position and you're thrown into the deep end. You've really got to hope to have traffic go your way and just pump fast lap after fast lap.
You must be right, because they've come out on softs.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's like
And
I
the
knew it was going to
pressure-
happen or something.
Funny that the pressure's now on this man Keaton, as he's got the two rivals behind him on fresh softs. He's really got to pull something out here.
Well, Groover's still there. I'm not sure if he probably got a little bit of slipstream, but will Keaton respond? Will
Keaton
Groover
will know.
respond?
Keaton will know he's got a bit of a fuel advantage over the over Norman Risky there. He might have a bit of time to spare, just saving a bit more before he needs to push.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, wow.
Chopper sending into the pit lane there.
A lot of fuel used
Lot of
there.
fuel
This is going to
burn.
be a long stop.
Motors will stop. Nope.
No, Motors didn't stop as Razor and Hatfield stopped from that back group. So that there are early stoppers if we're looking at it, and Chopper's come out on the medium.
Must be Jono in the pit lane as well. Off the medium tyres.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. So he made a pit stop as well. Just the one lap.
Seems like it. Just
Would
going
appear
on
so.
here.
Oh,
Here we go. Chopper's amongst it.
Here we go. Oh, so I think from memory, he popped out of the pits. I just got him, I think.
Medium tyres, actually. Medium tyres for
Yes.
Chopper Dog. So Norm will be all over him.
would he?
This is frustrating for Norm. He's losing the gap to Risky here.
Yeah, he was all over him, and now he's got a slow, medium tired
Oh, no.
Chopper Dog.
Painful.
Oh, his Chopper Dog will peel over here, surely.
Ebony and Ivory in terms of pace,
In terms of car as well.
and Chopper not pitting.
Wow, that is.
Oh, he's off
frustrating.
there.
And
He's
he's
not
gone
keeping that on.
all on his own too.
Oh, good recovery.
Yep, solid 360 there. Got to pay it.
Motors will sweep around his outside using all of the track
All
to
of
do
the track.
so.
I think you can
Wow.
excuse that when you've got a ghost car on the inside
Yep,
there.
yeah,
You don't
I
want
mean-
to take a risk.
That is
Very
fair
true.
enough.
Group are close up to Keaton now.
I think without the cars ahead of him, he's just able to sort of use that cleaner air and pull up to the back.
I think he'll
Interesting
fall a
livery
bit back
there.
with the fuel.
Bit of a colour change, Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
Does Keaton come into the pit lane here? Make his attention
Looks like
clear
he's
He's on
early?
the
Right.
right. You wouldn't think he'd go defensive.
no,
In the
here he
pits
goes
comes
peeling.
Keaton,
He
and he's
comes.
braking. He was braking for the pit
Wow.
lane there. So that's
Silly
one
man.
thing. That's one thing about Tsukuba. You can actually send it into the pit lane as fast as you want. It
Well,
will
when you're as
catch you.
fast as
It'll put
Keaton,
you in the pit lane.
I'm sure you're preparing for real life racing.
Yeah.
Murph's in as well.
Well, watch Captain Risky here.
Okay,
This
here
was
comes
Keaton's
Risky.
closest competitor.
Yeah, they were nose to tail before Risky pitted to undercut. Risky using all the track.
Keaton's on the
And
mediums. Keaton is on the mediums.
That's a PB.
Where is he? Oh my, Keaton.
Yep.
Wow,
The
he's
fuel
putting-
save there helped him. But he also hasn't put any fuel in for that
Ah, that'll do
mediums
it.
lap.
That'd
That's
explain.
what a call from Keaton though to go on the mediums in the middle stint. This is going to put him well in traffic.
I think
Wow.
someone of Keaton's caliber would have calculated this one. I think
Oh.
he should be fine. There's a big gap back behind Big Chopper Dog. I think he'll slot right in there.
I think you overestimate his ability to calculate. He's just a fast driver.
He is, yeah.
This is also true. Yep.
One of Keaton's finest strategies is to just run the tyre as long as possible and then pit. And then put in
Yes.
too much fuel and win.
As Keaton dives in here, braking again. He hasn't learnt from last time.
Not particularly. It's Groover in the lead now. This is something we're not used to seeing. Groover getting up there at the moment.
He's had little moments of brilliance here and there, but a little bit inconsistent if we talk about finishes in Div 1. A bit top
Absolutely.
to bottom.
He's been rather quiet, I think you could say. He's just sort of there or thereabouts chipping away. I think it was actually the 458 Italia season where we really saw some pace from him. He was punching up above the podiums, but
Yeah,
we
that's
just couldn't
true.
see that race win.
So we've got Groover, Bryan and Apex yet to pit.
So that would leave Risky in the effective lead with Norm effective second.
Well, hard
Keaton
to say because of the extra
down
pit
at
stop
seventh.
Keaton's done for the mediums.
Yes, for now. Once the top guys pit, that'll leave them there.
So
And
at this
you-
stage, if Risky and Norm have done this is their second stint on softs, they'll be running till the final lap to do one lap on mediums at the end.
Yes.
So that will be a tasty final.
Because we have
Few
Apex
laps.
now in the pit lane. 8 leaders left in the
Hey,
same.
he has done very poorly at fuel saving. There. He's going to be sitting here for an eternity waiting for the crew to fill this tank.
5 minutes! Oh, hang on.
So that would
He's-
have
I
been
think he
Norm.
put mediums on
He
as
has, he's
Apex
gone to
comes out of the
mediums.
pits. In between Norm and Risky again, this is another heartbreak for Norm.
Norm's just losing so much ground through this, and they were so close. So it's just unlucky that it's just worked out the way that it has.
It really has hurt the Australian driver, Norm. I'm sorry, the Kiwi. No, I keep forgetting. It's really
How
hard to
could
tell
you
with that
forget?
livery. No, I
It's
don't know.
got a massive fern on the side of it.
I forget.
Come on.
It's sorry. really
He
hard to
thought
tell
that
the
was one of those
difference.
ferns you would find in an Australian national park.
You know the ones that
yeah,
you
okay.
wave the fire when you're lost? And
Oh,
it
yeah.
sends off the smoke signals? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Fair enough. I can see where you got confused, but
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
He'll be hoping he can get some of that slipstream and not get held up. Apex will probably jump into the pits anyway.
Jono's in
Jono
the
in.
mix.
I don't see any movement there.
No.
Keaton's using a bit of fuel here. He's definitely trying to go for a fast lap.
Oh, I think that...
After he's realised what Risky and Norm are doing.
I think Jono has had some technical issues.
That may be Jono calling it after 2 or 3 laps, I think you'd say.
Apex in now, filling up.
Ah, here's
He
his
gets the end.
eternity. Oh, wow.
I think it would appear that Jono's crew are lost.
Yep, Apex out.
Jeez, that's a long stop.
Comes out in 8.
Just ahead of Chungus. Oh no.
So Razor had it already pitted, so I think Apex will get away with that.
Just while we've got a moment, look at the field spread in the top right. I mean, there are cars everywhere at the moment as the leader comes in. Groover with only 3 litres left in the tank.
And that puts Brian in the lead here. Obviously going for the 1 stop at this point.
Well, you would think so. To do a 2-stop after running over, well, what's that?
Halfway. That's over
26
halfway.
laps now on the soft.
Yeah, it'd be a bit anti-intuitive, wouldn't it?
Counterintuitive, almost.
Nah.
Yeah.
I
I think
think we
counter's
just-
the word you're going for there.
I think we sweep under carpet.
I think this is where Satellite wanted to be coming into this.
I think Brian's
Leading
run
Div
the he's run the conservative approach here. The 2-stop was very aggressive. You needed a lot of pace for it, but Brian, while not known for his outright pace, his tyre conservation and fuel conservation is some of the best we've ever seen in Ruse. He's
I think the
always
other thing
pulling
there
off
is-
these crazy strategies.
His ability to run to a number,
Absolutely.
Yes.
and that's what you need for this kind of strategy.
You can see it on the right. I mean, all of his laps at the moment are within 2/10, and that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, you're right there.
And you're right.
101.8 to 2 flats,
Brilliant work
except for
there
that
from Brian.
2.1. So, but I'll give you that.
We'll leave that one alone.
That's a 7.3 second gap from Brian Ariski, then 3 seconds again back to Norm, 6.9 back to Groover, 2 back to Keaton, 7 back to Mighty Murph, 5 back to Apex, 4 tenths back to Razor, 9 tenths back to Hatfield, and Motors 1 tenth behind him. That's the
Ooh.
top
Razor
10.
going at it.
Dicing with Viper.
Chopper trying to jump onto the back of that too.
In that white livery, look at him go.
So clean. Looks like Motor's got the job done. Will Viper have another dive back onto turn 1?
You'd think so?
No.
No, very conservative.
I think Viper, with the race start he's had, is just looking to close it out without a lot of trouble here.
It's fair enough. That from experience, Viper?
I can say that because I am Viper, and I just wanted this race to be over at this stage.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not like you to be there.
No, it was a painful start where the unfortunate incident with Jono really put a halt to my proceedings, and
Might be time to get a wheel.
yeah, the DS4 is it's serving me well, but the wheel is likely a possibility at this stage.
Well, still in the slipstream, anything can happen.
Absolutely, big Kev again, running a really quiet one at the back.
Keaton
those
trying
lap
his
times on the
best to
right.
get past Groover here.
Ugh.
He's losing time to Risky and Norm, but what can
Can't
you do?
find a way past.
No, it's
Oh, Groover
such a
runs
hard
wide.
track to Groover run. Oh wow,
They're side by side now. Can he hold it?
I think he's got it. Unless Groover sends it here.
Oh wow,
No.
great
Left
move,
him way
Kev.
too much
Backs out.
room.
I think he knew that this wasn't his battle.
It was a losing
Well,
fight.
what's the gap there from Brian down to Risky?
That's now down to 6.1. It's dropping pretty rapidly.
They both
Obviously,
got one
Brian
stop
fuel
to
saving.
make. So, at
Be
least
interesting to
that's
see
what
how
we
Brian
think.
goes. 30 laps in now for Brian. Surely he's not two stopping from here.
How much
Definitely.
faster are the softs over the mediums?
About half a second a lap fresh, I'm pretty sure.
There's a
From
bit
what
more
I've
than that.
heard. A bit more. Wow.
we will see we'll see more of the same for Brian when he gets on mediums. Obviously, with the lower fuel tank, lighter car, you will
Fresh
see higher
tyres,
ones
yeah.
from him still. It's just an odd strategy considering the undercut at the moment would be huge, but I think he can definitely afford to pull it off, given the spread of the field tonight.
Yeah. Just happens around here.
Yeah.
Small accidents here and there. As soon as you start battling, you just leech so much time to the guys in front. It's one of the quirks of this place.
Now that
It's a big
Keaton's got
loss.
past Groover, is there anyone stuck together?
Just scrolling through.
Look for
Johnny's in the
11th
pits.
there. Still Chopper and Viper.
10th, 11th, 12th is a train, I guess, but they're not really battling.
Sort of
Same
just
with
sticking with one another.
Hatfield and Razor are trying to stay together. Hat trying to keep up with Razor, while Razor's
Something's
trying
happened
to
with
catch
Motors
Apex.
if he's still behind them after getting past them earlier.
Yeah. Might have been an extra fuel stint, something like that. Never know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell who's got pace because we don't know how much fuel saving they're doing.
Exactly.
And being such a short track, it means that those times are quite close.
As Motors runs a little bit wide, Viper should be in the slipstream here.
Motors
got
with the
the-
hazards on.
Yeah.
Interesting approach.
We don't enjoy hazards on our tracks,
No.
as they did us last season.
Hmm. Lead to some crunching incidents.
I think Jono will be copping a penalty for this one.
I agree. I do actually
Yeah,
wonder
no.
what that's about. I mean, Motors hasn't come anywhere near anyone for a couple of laps now, and the hazard lights are on.
Unless... Oh, is Chopper having a look?
Oh, Chopper, oh wow.
Was that a touch on Viper there?
It was a touch on Viper there. Viper holding it on track, sorta.
Bit of deja vu there from his time with Kev.
I think in relation to Motors lights, could just be a random button press
They're
on
off
the
now.
wheel.
They are off now. He's figured it out.
Good on him. No more technical difficulties.
Very wide.
Remember, the track limits at the final corner are the red and white stripes, not the green.
Bit late to remember it now for those guys.
Yeah.
Viper's got
Is
just a
Jono
mirror full of
still
small
in the
blended cut.
I don't think Jono's going to be leaving the pits. I think his day is done.
No, I think the crew members have actually misplaced the rattle guns. They cannot undo the wheels.
Yep, they're holding the wrong ones.
It's unfortunate.
They've got 17mm nuts instead of 20. It's
Just
just
check
not good
actually.
enough.
They must be tired at this stage. They've been in a
They are.
squat for some
They've
time.
been crouched for a very long time.
This is one resilient crew.
It's- About 9 laps.
I'd
About
be
9
cramped
minutes
by
they've been.
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm surprised they aren't planking.
it's possible.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the
There's
other
that
battle
gap
on
from
track at
Brian
the moment.
Risky. 3.7 now from Brian Risky, so it's coming down. As Risky goes wide. Oh wow, good save.
Here you go, Chopper Dog down the inside
Chopper
of Viper.
down the inside.
Viper makes it easy for him. He's still got a bit of overlap on the outside.
Gets it
Just
done.
slots in.
Things going from horrible to worse to worse.
And Brian's in. He's used all that tank. 33 laps out of the tank. Good stint.
Great work there from Brian. Huge fuel save.
Field coming around now, but I don't think we need to watch that with the amount of fuel he's going to have to put in.
No, I mean, it wouldn't be too much. Only 11 laps worth, but still a problem for him.
No, I'm
Yeah,
trying
oh, there
to...
he is.
He comes out well ahead of Groover.
Right
just
behind
behind
Keaton.
Keaton. Wow. That was crucial for Keaton there. If he was
You
stuck
think-
behind Brian, it would have hurt him.
Mediums to the end now, I don't think he'll have to trouble Keaton at all.
No.
So he'll be looking behind to see if Groover can catch him or not.
Yeah, Keaton will know that. I think Groover's on the mediums too, though, so he should be fine.
He is.
Really?
One medium. So
Same
Groover's
strategy
just going
then.
to slot back further.
Yeah.
Murph
More
still to take
fuel
the
and
mediums.
worse tyres.
He's trying to do the Brian strategy.
Funny that.
It's not Brian though, so it's not working as well.
Oh well. Sometimes you try to emulate your heroes.
Yeah.
Murph having a good run in 6th on his debut for Div 1. Apex
Solid
trying to
effort.
put down the laps to catch him.
Apex could come back after the lap 1 mishap there with Jono.
Hatfield getting
Put himself
very
in
close
7th.
to Razor now.
Chungus is warding him off there.
What a look at the fuel between the two. Is it very similar?
Very similar, exactly the same, but Razor's got a lot more tyre degradation going on.
They pitted on the same lap, so that's very interesting.
Razor is known for using his tyres.
It's very difficult for him with a lack of thumbs. He has been known to steer with his toes, which are not as precise.
Yes,
No.
frequent users would know Razor has no thumbs. He actually does have thumbs, but he has no thumbs.
He has no thumbs, and Liam Viperzed has taken a photo of his lack of thumbs, and it is a fact.
I have proof.
There are no thumbs there.
Right. Poor bloke.
Moment silence for men without thumbs.
Imagine having no thumbs. Jeez. Couldn't be me, man.
Risky in an unfamiliar position in first.
Oh, it's not too unfamiliar anymore.
Calm down. Drop the difference.
Wow.
Mr.
Didn't realise
A.
we had an ego in the commentary box.
Yep, sorry, I will escort myself now.
Glad?
Yeah, no, keep away from escorts. So Norm trying to close the gap down.
The delta time for from Risky to Keaton for just the tyre stop should be about 7 seconds, just to put the mediums on for Risky. So he's got to manage that gap to Keaton. It's about 7 seconds now, so pedal to the metal.
Look at those lap times from Keaton though, all low 101s. What's Risky doing out front?
101.8 was his last lap. I think he's
losing half a second a lap. That
believe
lap
it's
33
why he
there
was fuel
wouldn't help
saving.
either. Look at that, 103.
I think
on
that was
33.
where he went wide out of the Dunlop Bridge.
Hatfield still clinging to the back of Razor, and they think they've got motors catching up behind. Not something they want to deal with late in the race, especially with pitting early. Their tyres are not going to be in very good nick compared to motors.
Moses is watching this battle and just licking his lips again. He's just can't wait to dive on both of them.
Oh, you just couldn't help yourself, could you? You'd need a chapstick sponsorship after this one.
Imagine the two-in-one pass.
We'll see what Motors is doing at the moment. It's a 1-6 for the last lap. Just trying to find that apex at turn 1.
Early line there.
Planting it
practice
as
dive
early as
getting
possible.
ready.
Lovely. It's a very, very good line through there.
Oh, as he sets a purple sector.
Another tight line through there. Very, very clean. This is going to be a good lap.
Oh, just
A
missed
little
the
lift
apex
off
a little
there,
bit there.
just to get a bit of turn in.
Apex under.
Bang it down into second. Final hairpin.
Can't quite get the thing to the apex. One criticism of this car is actually it's horrible to hot lap on your own. It understeers, it's oddly weighted, and it doesn't quite do what you want it to, but for racing purposes it is fantastic.
I think we'll stick on board again for one more lap, shall we?
See how he goes. He's still hunting down Hatfield and Razor.
Bit too much on the exit there. Almost 180
105.
kilometers an hour before we hit the brakes hard, drop into second gear.
Gained 6 tenths on Hatfield that lap.
Hatfield possibly being held up by Razor there. Hard to tell.
Cannot pass Chungus.
160 kilometers an hour. Bang it down again into second. Hard
He's really
left-hander.
going deep at the moment. Motors just can't get a grip on the braking zones.
I think he'd be pushing hard trying to catch them. Third gear right hand here. Just a little lift. Sometimes a tiny bit of brake to steady the car. Then flat. Watching the rear end because it does step out. Up into fourth. Brakes hard again for the final hairpin. Slow second gear. Right hand corner. Flat on the throttle. Get that thing. Some can use fifth, especially if fuel saving. Otherwise you can rev it out in fourth. And then you bang it down into third.
He's
Just
well
trying
on the
not to
toe
run
here.
too wide at the exit here.
Hatfield taking a very wide line into the last corner there. Might be hurting him on entry, but it's definitely working on exit.
Something could happen here. With the three of these guys so close and the laps running down, we don't have many to go. Someone's got to have a look somewhere.
Motors is within slipstream now, so he'll be sensing the dive bomb opportunity.
Really, I think, is it a dive bomb if it pulls it off, or is it only if he makes contact?
I think
It definitely depends, the dive bomb
it
name.
depends. Yes. I mean, if you don't make contact, but that's because the other driver had to avoid you, then it's still a dive bomb.
I suppose so. But he's a lot closer to Hatfield than Hatfield is to Razor at the moment.
This might be what Razor needs to kind of make a little bit of a gap for himself, give himself some breathing room.
Hatfield in an ignition sandwich at the moment.
He's the meat. Oh, it's a gamesman sandwich. So this is the age-old argument. When you call something an ignition sandwich, it's not really, because do you call a sandwich after what
Basically,
bread it is?
Viper said he's wrong. Stop listening to him.
Well, no,
No,
because
he's actually right.
He's
It's
right,
gained
but
on
no one
sandwich
cares.
with ignition bread. I
Thank
apologise
you.
for my
There we
poor
go.
analogy.
No.
I appreciate that.
Still nose to tail, the three of them. Bit of dirt there for Motors. Oh, Hatfield under immense pressure now. No space in front, no space behind.
The school of defending is back out.
Oh, they're
School
closer than they
defending
have
while trying to
been.
attack, I guess.
Motors
Bit
will
more
have a
dirt
sniff
there.
here.
Oh, Hatfield running very defensively.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
deep contact.
Motors just willing Hatfield forwards now.
4 laps to go now.
I mean, I'd like to think he could hold on, but
Yeah.
4 laps is a long time.
Keaton 6.5 seconds behind Risky now, so is definitely within striking distance to take this win.
Murph and Norm side by side through turn 1.
That's Apex.
Murph and
Sorry,
Apex.
yes.
Norm is in second place at the moment.
Easy to get those two mixed up.
Motors
Another
really do
look.
it here.
Trying to go around the outside.
Oh, no space there. It's just glued to his rear bumper at the moment, having a sniff, trying to see where he can get this move done for 9th. Really tough place to overtake it, and Hatfield is not making it easy.
He did do this earlier in the race. He managed to make the pass stick. But with the clock ticking down, could pressure be getting to him a little bit more this time?
I think Hatfield just knows it's that much more important. You're just defending for all you might at the moment. You can
Quick
show
update
this.
on Jono's pit crew. They're still waiting.
Thank you for that.
Brilliant.
Motors really trying to squeeze through the inside there. Running very wide on exit.
Really try the cut back here, and Hatfield's got it covered.
Racer's still sticking out of trouble. I think Hatfield's busy with his mirrors.
Very big rear view mirror in this car too. It's
What
quite
a view.
large.
Just anywhere
Where would
Motors
you
can get
say?
it done at the
Where
moment.
would you say he's going to have a go?
Final corner.
I reckon.
Oh,
I reckon
this,
it's
this
turn
hairpin
one.
here.
Turn one would be my bet.
Yeah, he'd
Just
need
hold
to
on
get
to
a
him
better
through the
run out
last
of that
corner.
final corner and get the inside.
With all the usage of
hang
track he's
on,
been doing, I
hang
think
on a
he can do it.
moment. Hatfield is
Razor's
that much
under
closer to
pressure.
Razor.
He's going for it. Oh no, this could end in tears.
He closed the door. I think there was a
Oh,
little
he's
contact
compromised
there.
now. He's really compromised.
This has worked for Motors. He knows what's happening. He's going to run all the way wide.
Okay, now
Brake
he's
light.
ahead going into it. So if he can stick it around the
Oh, look at
outside, he'll have
this.
the inside
Turned
for the
it a
next
bit
corner.
early.
He
He's
has
held
his,
it.
he's
And they're
kept the
banging doors
overlap,
now.
Wow, this is NASCAR stuff.
and he's pulled it off. Beautiful move.
Lovely.
Well done,
The
Motors.
opportunity presented itself. Hatfield was
This is it now.
He's
Leaders
gonna
in the
knuckle
pits.
down. He's going to knuckle down here. He's got 1 lap to catch Razor, as Keaton just is going to sail past the two in the pits at the moment. I've got to guess.
Comes around the final corner. 1 lap to go. We'll get that done. Where is Risky?
There he goes.
risky on the medium. Out he comes,
Is
and Norm as well.
Norm not far behind him. Brian is looking at him ahead of him. He's like, oh,
I think
Mr.
Brian's
Podium,
got
but
4th there.
he's done well for 4th place off that strategy.
Murph needs the mediums as well.
That's hurt him. As Motors gets by Razor,
Going into the final lap, he's left it late.
might work for him.
I
Razor
think
trying the cut pack.
just pitting later, those fresher tyres have really helped him at the end. You wouldn't think Razor should make it too difficult for him. They are teammates after all.
Whoa, that
This is
car has
true.
got a lot of attitude at the moment.
Your mic is too.
Nice.
You're back.
Coming into
Still
it.
got to keep it on the road. Well done to Keaton.
Keaton makes another
Yep.
victory with Captain Risky
Congratulations.
sliding in behind. Brilliant second place from him, and Norm
Skin
finishes
Norm.
off the podium in the Australian liveried car.
Oh
SR
god,
Brian
Kiwi, oh god.
coming across the line.
It's a
Fourth
good
place for
drive for
Satellite
Brian.
Racing.
With
That's
that
beautiful.
single stop groover, emulating that with fifth. Not a bad drive.
And
Apex
Apex
up
not
the
506.
yeah, especially after that early incident with Jono. It's a
Yes,
good job of
it's
bringing it home in sixth.
done well. And Motors will bring it home in 7th place.
Oof.
Fight to the line between Razor and Hatfield. Razor
Couldn't
just
quite
pips
get
him.
it done.
Mighty Murph and Chopper Dog. And then Viper after a bit of a disappointing race by his standards.
You'd call that a poor 12th from him. Should be up
And
a lot higher. Kev struggled
Big
all
Kev in
day,
13th, yes.
but
Seems to be a
kudos.
bit off the pace, but good job
Finishing
sticking it
off.
out. And
And now
Jono's pit
Jono.
crew, his
Where
pit crew,
will he finish?
very
20
resilient,
minutes.
but
20 minutes in the same position. This is absolutely outstanding effort from the Japanese men now.
I think
honestly,
you say that Mercedes
they've
did
really
quite
got
a fast stop.
they've really got to kind of figure out what's wrong with their rattle guns, because it's really held Jono up here. It's just not good enough. I think they
You see-
will be sacked after this race.
Child labour really wasn't an issue for Jono's pit crew until he forgot that they didn't know how to use rattle guns.
They do look quite small, don't they? Could just be
Because
that they're
they are
hunched.
all 3 years old.
On that bombshell, the GT Sport pit crew are all 3-year-old Japanese men.
Interesting
3-year-old
calling them
men. Interesting.
Yep.
Thank you, viewers, for joining us tonight.
It's been a good
Race
race.
on Oz Super B team.
Super B
Round 1 at Tsukuba. Hope to see you all next week. Not sure if Aiden will be joining us.
We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see.
I already cut it when I did the Super B.
Damn it. Okay, good. I'm so